Interestingly, the whole concept of trading the pelts of beavers and shunning the meat must have seemed pretty odd to the early Native Americans who traded with the Europeans. The natives saw beaver as one of their most dependable food sources. Unlike caribou, moose, and deer, which were constantly on the move and required a lot of energy and work to acquire, and often, for a number of reasons, the hunters were unsuccessful. Each and every beaver flowage location was known and very familiar to the family living in that area. It was like having a meat shop just down the block. And they carefully managed the numbers and ages of all of them that they harvested. They depended on those beavers year after year and knew that they would never starve with beaver on their land. Beaver is also a very high-energy, nutritious meat. Even today, for many trappers and their families, the meat from the beaver they trap supplements their winter diet. The natives traditionally roasted the beaver over an open pit suspended on a string, so the heat from the fire rotated the beaver. The tail is a delicacy, often removed and sewn in the body cavity of the beaver as it cooks. Nowadays, there are dozens of great recipes for cooking with beaver. Just here in Maine, we harvest between 7,000 and 10,000 beaver a year. Jerry Levine of Dunlater Farm processes beaver for a lot of trappers in Maine.
I usually trim these carcasses pretty close, getting as much meat as possible. And the average size beaver will get you 7 or 8 pounds of boned out meat. A really large one, all the way up to 12 pounds, which is quite a bit.
That's somewhere around 70,000 pounds of darn good eating available to trappers each season. Beaver has also caught the fancy of some pretty high-profile, national-known chefs. I spent an afternoon with renowned outdoor chef Kate Krakowski-Gooding, sampling some of the more than 50 dishes she cooks and has perfected using beaver.
Hi, I'm Kate Krakowski-Gooding, and I wrote the book, 50 Ways to Eat a Beaver.
Kate has written a book on her terrific recipes. The title is a little whimsical, but the recipes are fantastic. We started with a good mess of Maine-style whole beans. I was just amazed at how many different ways there are to make beaver taste really good.
It's going to be really good. I put a little bit of the hot dry mustard in this time. I love spice. I don't know about you. So now we're going to try these babies. They've been cooking all night in the earth. Oh, look, they look perfect. And here's that beaver leg that's been marinating all night. We're going to break that up and it's going to be delicious.
Next course was campfire chili.
I have been cooking wild game for over 30 years, and beaver is by far my favorite tasting red meat. It's really sweet for some reason. And people say, is it fatty? It's like bear. You have the pelt, you have the fat, then you have the meat. There's a little bit, of course, in between, but it's very, very minimal. I think it's one of the leanest red meats out there.
Outdoor cooking is Kate's passion, and her campfire creations are for the hardy woodsman.
When I'm cooking beaver in my recipe in the cookbook, I usually use a little bit of water. But when I'm cooking out on a campfire, there is nothing like a good little bit of beer to add the flavor into this dish. And one of the things I found out that the beer does, it helps meld the spices even a little bit more because of the moisture. Well, I think we're almost ready to try this. Here, you have to try some of this. Look at that. Oh, tender, delicious. The beer comes out a little bit in that, the cayenne pepper. You're gonna go to heaven.
Every beaver man should have a copy of Kate's book. It's available from her blackflystew.com site. If you are fortunate enough, you have a gourmet wild game smokehouse close to you, like we do here in Maine. There is a lot of other product lines that beaver meat is well suited for. Jerry Levine of Dunlater Farm has developed some superb smoked products using beavers, no additives, no fillers, and the nutritional benefits are off the chart. The beaver meat is ground and seasoned with an array of spices depending on the various recipes he creates. Everything from jerky-like snack sticks to salami, summer sausage, to a host of different breakfast sausages. They all lend themselves perfectly to beaver meat as the main ingredient. The smoking is done hot, with apple or maple, adding another dimension to the flavor.
I keep the temperature between 180 and 240 degrees, pretty much like barbecue.
I am sure that any of you that have attended any of the Shippers Council and NAFA fish fries at the last several NTA conventions can attest to the taste of some of these great smoked beaver recipes.
Hey, that's pretty good. It is. It's better than the crap you fed me last night.
That was beaver too.
Oh,
What do you think?
Very good.
You gotta try it.
It's very good.
What's the verdict?
Once you've added beaver to your winter diet, I'm sure you'll agree with the most northern natives that fur on the beaver just covers up the best part of them.